If we can get you hitting your driver straighter, it's probably the fastest way to drop the scores. No more lost balls, no more crazy high numbers. In the next few minutes, I'm about to give you the top tips to keep your driver in play, hit more fairways, lose less balls, and ultimately lead to much lower scores. So let's get straight into it. Let's get you hitting your driver so much straighter. So number one, we're going to talk about the big dog. We're going to get to swing in a minute, but the club can make such a big difference. So there's a lot of golfers out there that are just generally using the wrong equipment. A lot of that is a big part of that responsibility is with the manufacturers. So many golfers are using clubs, particularly drivers, where the shaft is too long. And part of that is you've got your TaylorMade, you've got your Callaway, you've got your brands that are really pushing distance and they want to sell that extra 20 yards. They've got this super long driver, they've given it to a robot, that robot hits the middle of the face and swings the same every single time, and that ball does travel further. But the reality is, we are not robots. We're going to make mistakes, we don't swing the same every single time, so by nature of that, with a really long club, and most clubs on the shelf are too long, most golfers would be much better taking an inch off their driver. Much better. All of a sudden, they're going to hit the middle of the club face so much more, and then the pattern becomes much more consistent straight away. So give that a try. Definitely recommend, if you're going to get fitted for a new driver, try a shorter driver. If you're on the market for something that's second hand, try something that's an inch shorter. Even buy a 3-wood shaft with an adapter on it. Stick it in your driver. Yes, it will be a little bit heavier, but give it a try. You'll probably find the middle a lot more. So a biggie on the driver shaft, really do think shorten it so you don't give up ball speed because you're hitting the middle more, but you do start to gain better direction and a tighter dispersion. Another thing to note on your driver, one thing that will make it go straighter, not necessarily further, if we loft up slightly, the ball by nature does travel a little bit straighter. Obviously a big extreme example, if you say you're a slicer or you hook the ball, you probably don't do it very much with a pitching wedge or a 9-iron or an 8-iron, and that's because the club has so much loft. The spin of the ball doesn't tilt as much when we've got extra loft, so you don't see as much curvature. So generally speaking, if you want a driver that's straighter, get it shorter, get it slightly more lofted, and obviously, head-wise, pick something that's quite forgiving if you want to go down that route. But that's really important. I think the equipment you use can really help, but here's some of the key things you can do when you go to hit it that will make it go much straighter. Another thing you can do is just tee that ball just a little bit lower. A lot of golfers are teeing the ball up far too high, almost getting a full ball above the club head, and that can lead to poor strikes. So generally speaking, a pink set height tee to maybe even a white, slightly smaller than it, is generally the best height for modern day drivers. Don't go much higher than a white tee. Yes, you want to hit up on it, but I must admit I'm not a huge fan of that. Generally speaking, someone who uses orange tees or tees the ball up really high, most of the time struggle with inconsistent striking. So I wouldn't go as high as that. Pink tee to white tee, that's the kind of sweet spot depending on how you strike it. I would try and avoid going out with those parameters. So white tee to pink tee, half a ball above the club head to maybe a quarter or a little bit less, and try not deviate too much from that. You will hit the middle more often, and again that will result in more ball speed and a tighter dispersion. One more thing on the equipment, really quick one. If you slice, obviously use the adjustability to your advantage. So if you loft up, that sits the face a little bit more closed, so that's an easy thing to do. And then if it has any bias setting where you can put the weight towards the heel, or actually if you can put the heavy weight at the back of the head, these things make it more forgiving and make it fly straighter. Opposite to that, if you hook the ball, loft down will slightly open the face at address. Don't fix it, but manage it just a little bit better. And if we can do the equipment part of it, if we can do the tee height, if we can get the setup right, and if we can get the swing right, you can definitely hit your driver a lot straighter. So now we've spoken about equipment, let's get on to swing. So obviously to hit the ball straight, we need some element of club face control. We need that club face to be in a really good spot throughout the swing. In particular, at point of impact, we need a good club face. So in order to get that, generally speaking, we need a flat left wrist, throughout most of the motion. So fairly flat in the takeaway, not too flat, that would close the face and get the club on the inside. Not too cupped, that could get the face really open. So flat enough, flat at the top should help us get a good club face. Flat coming down in the transition to the downswing, shallows the club and keeps that club face in a good position. And then reasonably flat on the way through, not breaking down, which would close that club face or get off centre strikes. And certainly not getting more cupped or twisting this way, because that's going to open the face. So the wrist angles really do, once you've got the hold, once you've got your grip, play an enormous part of what your club face do. So your wrist angles, once you've held that golf club, are so important to controlling that club face. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Give you some nice easy drills, some things you can do to get those wrist angles in a good position and give you the best chance of a good club face and straight shots. So one of the biggest killer moves that golfers make, and I see this with so many amateurs, is from the top of their backswing, they cup and twist their left wrist this way. Problem is with that creates two things. That gets that club face really quite open. So we've got a slice problem potentially, or your better player tends to stall the body and flip the hands and then they might go the other way, but generally that's going to cause a lot of club face issues. So number one. Number two, what comes with that movement, and we see it in so many golfers, it creates a really steep shaft in transition. Again, that creates a problem because as we rotate from there, we're then going to have quite a big out to in path. So if the face is square or it's closed, you've got a big left shot problem. And if the face is quite open to that, you've now got a curve, high, weak right problem. So what we see so many good drivers of the ball is in transition, as they start the downswing, this left wrist stays pretty flat. So rather than this cupped motion, we keep it nice and flat, manages the club face, gets the shaft to shallow itself. Club face control becomes so much easier. Two ways that we can do this. So what I use with most of my students is hack motion, which measures your wrist angles throughout your golf swing. So there's a fantastic drill you can do called the motorcycle drill. So I'll show you that in just 1 second, as well as something you can use in your wallet. So if you don't have a hack motion, there is still a drill that you can use. The reason why this is so good is because it gives you amazing feedback. So the motorcycle drill that they have basically measures, if you imagine revving a motorcycle, we're going to go the opposite way. So feeling that that is flat as you start the downswing. And if you want to check out hack motion, just check them out in the description link below. There is a discount there. Fantastic for the off season, great for practice, great for feedback if you don't have a coach with you. Really, really good. So what we're going to do, and I'm not going to hit a ball here, go to address, let this thing load up to the top of the backswing, and this is the key part. Most amateurs move this way, and what we can see is it says flex your wrist. So we want to flex and flatten the wrist. We can see the face points more away from us. We can see it naturally starts to shallow the pitch. So fantastic thing to do. So you can go to the top. So again, we can practice that at home, anywhere we are. Make a backswing. Flex the wrist. Continue the downswing. All the way down. And that key move, if we get good at that, if you practice that, the next drill will help you with that. You don't necessarily need a hack motion, although it is amazing. You get the vibration when you make the correct move, you get the audio when you make the correct move, and it obviously tells you if you do it wrong. So it's really, really good for feedback. You will learn it quicker using something like hack motion, but if you don't have it, go in your wallet and just grab something like a card, just a nice credit card, something like that, place it in your glove, just like so. And if you do cup that wrist, you're going to bend that card. And if you keep that wrist nice and flat, that card also stays nice and flat. So you can try this same way. That's assuming you have some sort of normal grip. For example, if your grip's very, very strong, you don't need the wrist to be as flat. If you did, the face would be really closed. So if it's strong, you can have a little bit of cupping and still have a square face. Opposite to that, if you do have a weak grip where everything's round to the left, someone like a Jordan Spieth, you will need more flexion. Your left wrist will need to be flatter in order to have a square face. So a lot of it does depend on grip style. That gives you a bit of a guide as to what we're looking for. But generally speaking, if you're round about a neutral grip, it's not crazy either way, you're roughly looking for a flat left wrist. And this will help you with that. You've got that card, keeping that card flat in transition before you would rotate through. And again, you would practice this at slow motion. You'd practice this with no ball to begin with. You might then progress to wedge and practice it first, and then slowly but surely get better and better at it. There, flat, turn. That'll start to feel normal. At the beginning, it will feel very, very strange, but these are two fantastic drills. So for hack motion, that's one of many very, very good drills for wrist angle and club face. So if you have a club face issue, hack motion is a fantastic piece of kit for that. But equally, grab a card, we've all got them. Very, very simple, and you can do that anywhere. So I like both. We see so many good golfers doing this in transition, so if you can work your way towards that, that will definitely improve that club face control, which ultimately gets you hitting more fairways. So there you have it. Enjoy all those fairways that you're going to hit, enjoy those lower scores, and if you do want any extra help and you'd like me to take a look at your golf swing, check out the description link below. There's a free swing analysis on the Skillest app. You can send some swings and get some personalised feedback from me. There's improve.golf with hundreds of detailed videos on how to improve every single part of your game. And there's also a free 60-minute practice plan. So go to that description link, check those down below. If you found this video useful so far, do not forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. It's the only favors I'll ever ask. Great for the channel, really appreciate it. So click that subscribe button and be first to know about the videos that come out every single week to help you with your golf. And if you want another video to help you with your golf, check out this one just here.